Here's a quick pro tip when it's time to sharpen your lawnmower blades. Fall's here, mowing season's over, and if you're done mulching up your leaves, well, it's time to sharpen your blade and get it ready for next year. There's several different methods, but we'll ask the professional, how do you normally sharpen your lawnmower blades?
The grinder.
How do you sharpen your blades? So, as you guys already know, there's many different ways to sharpen your lawnmower blade, like your traditional belt sander, or maybe even the go-to bench grinder, or maybe you're a purist, a real man, and you use Grandpa's file. Yep, this is probably the most primitive tool in your toolbox. It does work, but it takes a lot of time. And by the looks of it, he's sharpening a whole bunch of nothing. Folks, let me proudly introduce you to the $60 Amazon lawnmower sharpening blade tool, made by, well, everybody. Literally, everybody has a copycat version of this. This thing's a game changer. It's so easy a 10-year-old could do it. So this blade sharpening tool pretty much takes the guesswork out of everything. Balancing, consistency, overall cut quality. So let me dive into it and show you exactly how it works and why I love it and why I want to share it with you. So don't fact check me because I'm not a journalist, but the original creator of this blade sharpening tool is manufactured by a company called All American Sharpener, and it was designed by a guy named Todd Austin, a mechanical design engineer. Basically, he came up with this design, and I don't know what happened. It looks like he has patents on this thing, but if you look on Amazon, everybody and their brother makes one. And the reason I'm telling you that is these things could range from American or All American Sharpener. They want about $300 to $400 for this, when this $60 version knockoff works just as fine. And if you're not running a lawn care business, this is the best thing and the most affordable way to sharpen your blades. All right, so here's the items you must have in order to operate this tool. You have to have a 4.5-inch angle grinder. Cordless or corded, it's up to you. But most importantly, it has to have a right side handle socket. Also, you're gonna need a 4.5-inch 36 to 60 grit flapper disc and a solid workspace or a clamp or some kind of jig. So this tool is going to allow you to sharpen any kind of lawnmower blade with a width about a max about 3.25 inches wide. Also, it can be as long as up to 30 inches. Also, it's going to allow you to give you angles options all the way from 15 degrees all the way up to 45 degrees. So speaking from experience, most of your recommended manufacturer cutting angles are going to range from 30 to 35 degrees. Because remember, we don't want this thing razor sharp. When you do that, you're exposing it to chipping, and also the blade's gonna go dull faster. So I already know you're asking yourself, well, is this gonna work with Honda lawnmower blades? Because Honda lawnmowers come with a 2-blade cutting system, which is very special and unique and over-engineered. They offer a flat blade and the lower blade is curved. So you will have to buy an adapter to sharpen Honda lawnmower blades, and it's sold separately and it ranges about $30 to $40. All right, so now that we got all that important stuff out the way, there's a couple steps you're gonna need to do, well, before you start bumping and grinding on this thing. You gotta prep the blade. So the first step is to remove any kind of dirt buildup or any kind of grass that's accumulated over time and get it off the blade, either with a wire brush or a scraper. This acts like a weight, so we gotta get the blade clean and debris free before we start grinding her down. Next, you gotta make sure the blade's not bent. Well, hopefully it's not bent. A telltale sign that you have a bent blade is you're gonna have excessive vibration in the handle or at idle, or your kid hit a sewer drain or a tree stump and they're not telling you about it. If you do have a bent blade, just go ahead and bite the bullet and buy a brand new blade. Replace it with a new part. So the way I tell if I have a bent blade or not, or I'm servicing a blade that I think is bent, my balancer has a unique feature on it where it allows you to see if it's bent or not. Basically, you set it on the balancer and you insert this tip at the very end of each blade and you measure it at the bottom, check the gap, spin her over and measure it and make sure the gap is equal or the same. If it's way off, you got a bent blade. And lastly, and most important, once you're satisfied with your cut or your angle grinding, make sure you balance the blade. Now, you could use a simple nail in the wall, that's the old school grandpa way, or you could buy a little cone from Home Depot for about $5. That'll balance it. But either way, just make sure that the blade is balanced. Guys, go out and buy this tool. Like I said, it ranges from $60 all the way up to $400. And like I said, if you're not running some kind of lawn care company and you're trying to save the spindles on your engine or your decks, I highly recommend buying this tool. It is amazing. It's a game changer. It's very effective. It's very easy to use. As you can see, my 10-year-old son is using it just fine. He's actually doing it for fun. So, thanks for watching. Hope this helps.